Today, we're going to unpack some really fascinating ideas.
We are. We're looking at transformation, both personal and collective.
And specifically, how real growth, the deep stuff, often comes from challenges, from the places you least expect.
Yeah, the grit, not just the easy path.
Exactly. So our mission today is to uncover some, well, surprising insights about spiritual journeys, about healing, and really how your own individual evolution can kind of ripple out.
How it impacts the world around you. It's a powerful idea.
It really is. So let's start with Kelly Teal. Her story is quite something. A healer whose journey kicked off by really overcoming quite a religious upbringing.
Yeah, one that initially closed her off entirely to this kind of spiritual work. She was raised evangelical Christian.
Okay.
And for her, that meant being taught that practices we might discuss, spiritual practices, were essentially of the devil.
Which is ironic, as she points out, because you find these kinds of practices throughout ancient spiritual texts, right?
Absolutely. But her own path, it took this really unexpected turn around 2018. It started after she began trauma therapy.
Right, EMDR she was doing.
Exactly. Eye movement desensitization and reprocessing. Very visual. And during that, things started happening that were, well, outside the scope of the therapy itself.
Interesting.
So much so that her therapist actually referred her to a spiritual teacher.
Wow.
And through that teacher, she found these things called the Emerald Heartlight Essences. They're from David Ashworth. Vibrational remedies, essentially.
Okay, and what do they do?
They're designed to help remove layers of fear, darkness, that kind of thing, almost effortlessly. And it was doing this difficult personal work that led her to realize something huge.
Which was?
That she was meant to be a spiritual teacher herself, despite, totally not believing it at first.
That really underlines how our purpose can show up through the hard stuff, doesn't it?
Precisely. Sometimes the very things we think block us actually shape our unique path later on.
And what I find really compelling is Kelly's honesty. She's very candid that this journey isn't always, sunshine and roses.
Oh, definitely not.
Yeah.
She talks about physical disruptions, moments of doubt, asking, why the hell am I doing this?
Yeah, that sounds real.
It absolutely connects to that idea of breakdown leading to breakthrough.
Mm-hmm.
James Walker, another voice we looked at, he says, darkness teaches deeply.
Like forging metal.
Exactly, a purification. Kelly mentions, a lot of people stop when it gets hard. She even uses that Navy SEAL metaphor, don't ring the bell, persevere.
But not blindly pushing through.
No. She's very clear. You have to honor your need for rest, for self-care. It's not about quitting or tapping out, but finding that balance. Equilibrium.
That balance feels key.
Yeah.
And it seems to show up in her healing work, too. She has this unique remote healing gift.
She does. It's fascinating. She describes sessions where sometimes she feels like she's manually manipulating energies, like subtle adjustments, but other times she just completely surrenders. Let's go. And even when she doesn't fully grasp the how, clients have these profound, life-altering shifts.
So she's not always consciously directing it.
Often not. It seems like she's tapping into the core issue, seeing the whole iceberg, not just the tip sticking out of the water, addressing the root cause.
And this idea of surrender she talks about, it's not just giving up then.
Not at all. It's active. It requires footwork, action, but it allows divine guidance to come through. She lived this herself.
How so?
She decided to really surrender in 2024, and immediately, boom, lost her biggest clients.
Ouch. That sounds like the opposite of guidance.
Right. But then, almost immediately, she got this clear guidance. Go to grad school for nutrition. A totally unexpected next step. That's active surrender. Following the guidance even when it looks scary or makes no sense initially.
Okay, I see. So it's trust and action combined. Now, how does all this personal transformation link up to something bigger? To collective change?
Well, this brings us perfectly to James Walker and his philosophy, surfing the change.
He's got a lot of experience, right? Over 30 years.
Decades. Lived with monks in Tibet, worked with top CEOs, professional athletes. A really broad scope. And he really connects the dots between healing ourselves and healing the collective.
How does he see that connection working?
He emphasizes that when we work on removing our own fear, our own layers, we're actually reducing the fuel for global division. Less personal fear means less collective fear driving conflict.
That makes sense. It starts within.
Exactly. His program, Return of the Sacred Heart, it's all about helping people balance mind, body, spirit, awaken clarity, embody their higher self.
So they can surf the waves of change, as he puts it.
Precisely. Navigate challenges from a place of centeredness. And it's interesting, both Kelly and James, they admit feeling some resistance to things like social media. these big global platforms.
Yeah, I can understand that.
But they also recognize these platforms are kind of crucial now for reaching a wider community that's waking up, that's seeking this deeper connection and change.
So wrapping this up, this deep dive really shows that profound personal change, it's an active process. It can be challenging, definitely not always easy.
But ultimately, incredibly rewarding. And the benefits aren't just for you. They ripple out.
They affect the whole system.
So maybe a final thought for you, the listener. If we consider life as this grand adventure, this unfolding process, what unseen layers might be holding you back right now?
And what could you discover? What might open up if you actively surrendered, truly leaned into the process of your own awakening?